it's one of those games where you try and motivate your team to play hard and play well, and I think there's a challenge there. You can say what you want, and you can preach what you want, but there's a lot of players I think that are looking forward to the next season, and so those are challenges we have at this time of year.
When you say motivate, Coach, is that why you tweaked some of those lines there in the third period?
Well, I don't know if it was motivating or more of we weren't getting anything out of some of those lines. So by moving players around, you hope that you could get a little bit more. I think Gretsch's line had one shot there after 2 pairs, and he was the only one that had it driving the net in the first. The other 2 guys ended up with no shots on net. So, I think we expect a little bit more from those guys moving forward. And, so making a change here, maybe putting a guy that was going to be more of a straightforward guy might have helped, and maybe David playing with some other wingers just to kind of spark things up. And so I'm not blaming one or the other. I think that whole line was flat tonight, so we had to split them up.
Well, do you ever sense that players, maybe, especially like you said at this time of the year, skate like they're trying to avoid injury or not going 100% just because they want to get to next week?
Well, how can you not think that way a little bit? As a coach, you're going to push your team to play well in the back of their minds, and you can't control that. They're saying, you know what, the last thing I need right now is an injury.
Right.
So, and that can be dangerous when you're playing not to get injured. We've seen that in the past, but it's something that I'm only a coach and I can only control so much. But the mindset of players are what it is, and when players want to play in the playoffs, you can't blame them when they understand that the outcome of these next few games may not change much. But the fact that there's a playoff around the corner, you want to be part of it.
Claude,
certainly not the way the fourth line played, though. I mean, they played all out. Nice to see them get rewarded for their work.
Yeah, absolutely. And we can talk about the goals that they scored, and at the same time, Thorny and Soupy scored some big goals for us. But how about that block at the end by Dan Paille? Hopefully that doesn't go unnoticed, because it didn't from our end of it, and just a commitment from those guys. And that's probably one of the positive things that really came out of tonight, is that if you can get that kind of effort and production from that fourth line, imagine if the other lines are going, how good we can be. So, hopefully the other guys jump on board here and give us what they can, and with the fourth line playing like they did tonight, just makes us that much better.
Coach, can you talk about Dan specifically over the last few weeks? He seems to really take that opportunity and run with it.
Well, yeah, I think people haven't talked much about him this year because he's been in and out of our lineup, and has had a trying year, but he's getting a lot of attention now because of his play. And I think number one is we always thought when we got him how good a skater he was, and how he could help our forecheck, how he could do well on the penalty kill, and then what he could bring in regards to that. And he's created a lot of scoring chances in the past by just doing those simple things. And I think Dan's starting to do that with more confidence every game. And that's what's making him a good player again. And obviously his patience and sticking with it, and taking advantage of the opportunity we've given him lately is paying off.
Is there something to be said, too, just about how fresh he probably is physically, even though it's not intentionally, sitting out early in the season, but just at this point he was talking in there about how good he feels as opposed to maybe the end of past seasons physically?
Well, I don't know about that. Guys are in pretty good shape, Joe, and I think, you'd hate to say that, guys are tired because they're pretty good athletes. They've had days off, and, practices are not extra long, and so I don't think there's anybody in there, because I know that when we talk to players, they say we feel good, we don't feel tired. So, whether Dan is a little fresher, if you miss...
I mean, let's beat up, actually.